Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I am pretty excited for this video because I'm going to be sharing with y'all 5 indie makeup products that I'm loving right now. And I actually have done a video just like this in the past. I can go ahead and leave it linked down below in case you want to see some more of my indie makeup favorites. But I love this kind of video because I feel like I get to share things that I'm loving and talk about some smaller brands. And I'm just not normally like a monthly favorites kind of gal. Like I just am horrible at sticking to a schedule, and I'm just like so weird about how I am. Like I want to talk about things when I want to talk about them. Like I can't just like at the end of the month be like, oh, what am I going to talk about? Like I have to feel passionately about things and just, yeah. So these are kind of a bunch of products that I've been using for months now that I'm absolutely loving and just want to rave about for a few little bit. So I actually did get a comment a few weeks ago that was like, hey, can you please do another one of these type of videos where I talk about like 5 indie makeup products? And I was like, yes, but I kind of just wanted to give myself some time, make sure I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. So I actually have 6 products today just because when I picked out the 5 that I was like most excited to talk about, I realized that 2 of them I am affiliated with the brands, and that's not supposed to be the point of this video. Like, ooh, let me talk about the brands that I can make money from. Like, that's not it. It's just that I genuinely like pull for things that I'm loving and I don't even think about the affiliation. And so then when I sat down, I was like, okay, 2/5, that's a lot. That's a lot of percentage of things I'm talking about today. So I went ahead and just pulled in one more indie product that I'm loving right now. So you get a little bonus. There will be 6 in this video just to make it, I don't know, a little bit more even, because that's not what this video is about. I mean, you can use my codes if you want to, but it's not what the video is about. Also, in case you're wondering what is happening on my eyes today, I am using the Linda Howberry Spectral palette, which just looks like this. I'm currently working on a 3 looks with 1 palette using this, so I did film the look and it'll be up momentarily. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is the Luxe Beauty See Me From Space Drenched Highlighter Palette, which retails for $42 and contains 6 different highlighter shades. And I did go ahead and do up close swatches of every single shade in the palette just for your viewing pleasure and so you can see and just see what all the shades look like swatched out on fair skin. I am going to be talking about just one shade in particular today that I am obsessed with, but I wanted to show you the entire thing so you got a good look, because I'm pretty sure the shade that I'm obsessed with is not available individually. So this is what the inside of the palette looks like. It says you are otherworldly beautiful. It's super cute packaging, and there are a variety of shades here. I find myself never ever reaching for this gold or this purple, but I always reach back into this palette for this shade right here, which is called Heliocentric. I don't know if you guys can tell, but do you see that dippage? Like, that is crazy. I know that it is only a matter of time before I hit pan on this highlight because I genuinely love it so much. It is the most beautiful peachy shade. It's what I have on the skin today, and like I said, when you swatch it, it does kind of feel like powdery. Like, I don't know if you can tell. I mean, it doesn't even look powdery there, but when you kind of rub your finger in, like, it definitely looks chunky on the hand, but then when you like really blend it into the skin, it just looks stunning. It's crazy. I normally use this with a fluffier brush. I feel like that gives a more natural look to the skin. Like, obviously I still have a super blinding highlight on, but I feel like that helps it blend in better. And there's just something about this shade. It's kind of like a peachy gold. It's just so unique, and the reflection is just beautiful. And I'm pretty good about remembering like my single highlighters. Like, I'm like, yes, let me go back into this. I love this shade or whatever. But when it comes to my palettes, I'm not as good about remembering to go back and use certain shades. But I just find myself time and time again reaching back for this palette, and I can see it, the evidence. So I am super excited to hopefully hit pan in that before the end of the year. I also have like a good little dippage in the green shade here, a little bit in this cotton candy type shade. And I do like this purple. I don't use that one as much. But overall, I love the palette. But just this shade, Heliocentric, is just everything. And I really hope that if they don't already sell it as a single, that they will, because it is beautiful. I do have some other single shades from them, but again, this shade is my absolute favorite. So I wanted to mention it and just give it its little moment, because it is just, it's gorgeous. I mean, I have like acne and texture on my skin today because my skin is rebelling again. But it's still beautiful. Alright, next I want to talk about some pigments from Peaches and Cream, and these retail for £6.95. I was so excited to make a peaches and cream order because I feel like people rave about these. Like anyone who has used them says that they're so good and blinding and just unique and special, and I was so excited. I actually have a bunch of shades from them, but for some reason I just keep reaching back to these two. So the first one that I want to talk about is the shade Mermaids, which I did up close swatches. I'm not going to swatch them right now just because they're a little bit messy. I don't like messy, but I did do some swatches, and the swatches up close are so beautiful. You guys are gonna die. I have the shade Mermaids, which is like a blue-green shifting duochrome, and it is so iridescent and bright, and it's actually what I have on my inner corner today, and it is just crazy. Like, the blue is crazy how much it pulls, and like, if you love a super bright, crazy inner corner, I definitely recommend trying out their shades. They have more that I want to try. I'm like slowly building up a list because I think they're really beautiful, and I think that they're really great. I always use a glitter glue with them, always, because it's messy and I don't want to be messy. So I just use the NYX glitter glue, which I have in front of me somewhere. It's probably like $6 or something, super affordable. So I love this particular shade, and like I said, it's gorgeous. And then I also wanted to mention the shade Pixie because this is the other one that I go for a lot, and this is like a really beautiful pinky iridescence. It almost has like a gold undertone to it when you're like moving it around and shifting it, but this one is really stunning as well. And whenever I'm doing a look where I'm like, can I put like some pink glitter on the inner corner, I want to go for this because it is just so stunning, and it's just like, it's an eye catcher. Like, it truly just takes over the look and you're like, wow, look at that inner corner. So I love this shade. Like I said, I have other ones that I enjoy too, but I just find myself reaching for those most, and I really love them. And I'm excited that I expanded like my little makeup world and decided to try some like loose light pigments because it's not what I used to go for. And like, yes, it takes a little bit longer to sit and do the glitter glue and to use one brush for that, and then I use another brush, and I like, you know, it's more than just doing like a quick highlight on the inner corner and done, but I think it's totally worth it. And they do have different bundles on their website. If you want to try a few different colors, you can get a better deal. I haven't tried anything else from Peaches and Cream, but highly recommend those pigments. So next I want to talk about a highlighter from LC Cosmetics, which just looks like this, and this is the Skin Reflector Highlighter in the shade Pearly Glaze. I tried to do an up-close swatch of this, but my camera didn't want to focus, and I think it's because you can barely see this on the skin. Here's what it looks like. I like mix these together every single time. I mean, I guess I could show you the difference between the darkest and the lightest, like that's what it is there, but I normally just mix it together, and it's like a really beautiful, just like super natural shade. So you can even barely see it on the skin there, but I adore this highlighter because I feel like it is so amazing for that just like everyday, not even every day because I wear a blending highlighter all the time, but sometimes I just want to do something natural. Sometimes I want to do something that doesn't like, for some reason, whenever I break out, it's always like right here in this area, which you can see occurring right now in this moment. So sometimes I just want to use something like this, and it just does not emphasize any texture. It just looks like your skin is dewy. And if you want to have that like fake oily look, you guys might think I'm crazy, but I love the look of an oily nose, probably because I have the driest nose of life. But if you take this and you like just, you know, do a little brush, and I love to like just put this all over my entire nose to get like that oily nose look. I know if you're oily, you're probably cringing. Like, I hate having an oily nose, but I think it just looks so healthy and dewy, and I love anything dewy, especially like I said, I'm a dry person 100%. So I just love this highlighter, and I feel like sometimes even if I just have like a bad skin day and I like want to reach for this, I'll do this all over the cheek and it'll give like that really soft glow, and then I'll use a more intense highlighter like something from Ofra, and I'll just put it at like the very top of my cheekbone, so I still get a little bit of that blinding but less texture. And I just think this is so flattering on the skin, and it makes me really curious about other products from LC because this is the only thing that I've tried from them and I love it. I believe I got mine through Beauty Bay. I did have a weird interaction with LC Cosmetics because I think they posted something about they have new highlighters. They're called like the Eclipse highlighters or something like that. And I was curious about them, but I know that they would be way too dark for my skin tone. And this is kind of a tangent, but I commented on their Instagram and said, like, I really hope you expand your shades because I would love to try this highlighter. Like, it wasn't negative at all. It was like, I hope you expand because I'm interested. Like, that's like, I'm not the type of person to leave negative comments. That's just not me. And they commented back and said, like, the lighter shade was perfect for all fair skin tones. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not. And I replied and said, like, I said that I mean, I said it in a respectful way, but I said something along the lines of, like, I know, like, I'm way too fair. Like, I saw the swatch pictures and everything. It would not work for me. And they were insisted. They were like, we had a fair model. We know it'll work for every skin tone. And, like, Kathleen Lights, who is several shades deeper than me, she used it and it was almost a little bit too dark for her. So it's just kind of frustrating with a brand when you try to, like, just be positive and offer some constructive criticism. Like, I hope you expand this because I really do want to buy it and give you my money. And they're like, no, it'll work for you. And it's like, trust me, I know that shade would never work for me. Maybe I could use it as a blush, maybe I could use it as an eyeshadow, but I could not use that as a highlighter. So that was kind of a frustrating experience because, like I said, I'm always super respectful, but they just did not want to hear my opinion. They were convinced. So anyways, but I do love this highlighter. I love it a lot. They have a few different shades as well, so recommend it. I don't remember if I said it or not, but this highlighter does retail for $34, which I think is kind of up there, but it does give a really, really beautiful reflect to the skin. And I've also seen it on sale every once in a while, so you could probably get it for cheaper, but just wanted to mention that really quickly. My cats are caterwauling again. Always. Alright, so next I want to talk about a lipstick from Kaelyn Cosmetics, which just looks like this. This retails for $20. This is their lip creme formula in the shade Creme Brulee. I do have a few different shades in this formula because they sent me products as PR, but this is the shade that calls to my heart. I just love this, and whenever I first got it, I was wearing it like every single video, and I was like, Amy, you need to chill out, because I was just wearing the same nude lipstick all the time. I at least try to, like, switch up my nudes, but I love this. So here's what it looks like. Packaging is pretty simple, but I am here for the product inside. It is what I'm wearing on my lips today, which I've had on for like maybe an hour now. I don't have any gloss or anything. It is just this lipstick. It's more of a sheer glossy formula. I'll show you what it swatches like real quick. I suck at doing lipstick swatches, but there it is. It is like a really pretty nude shade, slightly on the pinky side, and I just think it is so nice. So I basically love everything about this lipstick. I love the shade. I feel like it is just like the perfect, just super natural nude for me. I love the finish. I love that it's glossy and like you don't have to add anything else on top, and it's just super, super quick to throw on. I also love the shape of this. Like, I feel like it's just easy to get all around, because sometimes, like, I feel like if a lipstick is a little bit too like the bullet is too defined and you have to like sit there and like perfectly do the line, I just don't like that, because I stink at lining my lips. Like, it's something I've never been great at, and I try and I feel like I always fail at doing a clean line. So this is just super easy to just go do 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 and be done. I also love that it's just super comfortable. I feel like I forget that I'm wearing it. It does last like a decent amount of time, but I wouldn't expect too much. I mean, it is a bullet lipstick. Basically, love the lipstick. It's great. All right, now on to another highlighter. And I love that all the highlighters I have to talk about today are actually kind of different. Like, there's nothing too similar. Like, I did a really blinding highlight. I did a really just glowy, very soft highlight, and now I'm going to talk about two duochrome highlighters. So I have some shades right here from Kristen Lee Cosmetics, I believe is the full name, or Kristen Leanne. Is it Kristen Lee or Kristen Leanne? Oh gosh. Okay, my phone is at 1%, but let's see. Can we get to Kristen Lee real quick? Kristen. Yes, it is just Kristen Lee, not Kristen Leanne. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I have some shades from Kristen Lee Cosmetics here, and I have 3 different highlighters and 1 eyeshadow, but I just want to talk about these 2 highlighters here because they're my favorite. This eyeshadow is really pretty too, but I just really, really love these highlighters because I feel like they are so, like, how do I describe this? So, you know, sometimes you try to do a duochrome highlighter and you're like, oh, like, it's a little blue. like just a little. These are like, dang, like that is a blue highlighter. Like there is no way to get around it. So if you don't really love that on the face, I think that these are really beautiful on the inner corner. The cool thing is that they do sell them in little pans, or you can do bigger pans. I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. Let me move. I have like everything over my paper. Okay, the pans right here are the 26mm pans, and they retail for $6.99 each. And then you can also buy them in 36mm pans for $10.99. They actually have like so many different options. You can buy them with a compact, you can buy them loose, you can buy like the tiniest loose size, you can buy a really big loose size, and they have, I think it's like everything is between $6 and $12 for the highlighters. So I think that's really cool that no matter what you're wanting to get, you can kind of customize it to what kind of makeup you like. Personally, I love that I can get them in an eyeshadow pan size because like it takes me forever to go through anything, and also I just think that they are really beautiful as eyeshadows. So this first shade here, I think this is Mermaid Fantasies. Yes, it is. Mermaid Fantasies has like a really pretty blue reflect, so I'll just swatch it for you right here. You can probably see it does look a little bit powdery when you first touch it, but again, I feel like it just blends into the skin. Like, look at that. It is so beautiful. And it just like, I remember the first time I tried this on, I was like, holy crap, that is blue. Like, it is so crazy reflective of blue. So, you know, if you like a natural highlight, this isn't for you, but if you love a duochrome highlighter, I think this is stunning, and for like $6, like, you cannot beat it. It is just so beautiful. And then the next shade right here is called Envy, and I think this is my favorite, even though I love both of them. This is just, it is so beautiful. It is like one of those really pretty green duochromes that has a little bit of a pinkness to it. I'm not going to swatch it on my hand because it's still kind of wet. I'll just do it right here. Like, oh, that's the weirdest swatch ever. Let me just build that up a little bit and like do it maybe like across like this. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. I feel like this is one of those shades where my camera really frustrates me because it does not look that special on camera, but in person it is just such a beautiful light green duochrome. It almost has a little bit of a pink base to it, which is my favorite when it comes to duochromes because I feel like on the cheeks that blends a lot better, and overall like this, it's just beautiful. So I really love that shade. It does kind of remind me of some other like actual eyeshadow shades that I've used for the inner corner. Kind of reminds me of like Ghost from Amy Heart's Beauty, or Green Mist from Sydney Grace Cosmetics. But this just looks, actually, have I tried those on my cheeks? I don't know. I would have to compare. But I do really love this, and I think it's a really good quality product, and I'm curious about their other things. Actually, you know what? Really quickly, they have this shade which is called Fascination, which is a highlighter, and it's not my favorite. Like, it's pretty, but it's just, it's kind of like a pinky lavendery cool tone type shade. I just don't really reach for that often. It's fine. It's fine. It's just not really my vibes. Like, I didn't do any up close swatches of that. But then they also have this eyeshadow here called Time Loop, which I'll just show you really quick, which is like a really pretty duochrome. It's kind of hard to capture, but it's mostly like just like a deep blue shade into like this really pretty teal shift, and this is really beautiful all over the lid. It's super metallic and just, ooh, I'm just imagining this all over my lid today. Instead of doing a light lid, doing this, that would be really pretty. So that's Time Loop, in case you were curious, and that's everything I've tried from Kristen Lee so far. I will say, I believe I remember processing time taking a little bit of time, but everything arrived safely and it was all good. I did buy during, I think, Black Friday though, so I expect a longer processing time. Okay, so the last product I want to talk about today, my little bonus item, I have not had for very long. I actually just did a first impression with it a few days ago from the time that you guys are seeing this, but I've done my makeup maybe like 4 or 5 times, and I've used this every single time. And I absolutely love it. I know that's not that long of a time to call something a favorite, but as soon as I tell you what it is, you'll understand. So it is the Linda Howberry Puff. I am obsessed, you guys. Like, I am so happy that I bought this. It retails for $13, which honestly, like, I'm not even mad at. Like, it's like a pillow for your finger, and it just sets underneath the eyes so perfectly. You need like the tiniest amount of powder. and I don't know, I'm just obsessed. I don't really powder the rest of my face, so I'm sure, like, I guess it would work well to powder everything. And actually I think that would be awesome to powder, because you could like actually like get where you need it and like work around your brows and everything, which if you're just going with like a big circular thing, it doesn't quite work around like the areas of your face. Like I could set this area right here if I wanted to, even though I don't. I only want to set underneath my eyes. Like that's the goal, is to use a foundation where I don't have to set everywhere, because I'm trying to look like a glowy goddess, not a matte goddess. So I am obsessed with this. I feel like it just works so well, and I like don't want to use anything else for my under eyes. I am curious how long this is supposed to last for, like how you clean it and everything, because I've literally never used a puff in my life. I've never been about the puff life. That sounds like I'm talking about something else that I'm not talking about, although I'm also not about that life, not judging on anyone who is. Anyways, I just love this puff. It's so good. I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed. So yeah, I know I haven't had this for that long, but I just cannot stop using it. And I mean, I feel like, I guess, I wouldn't say this is a luxury. I'm trying to like decide like with the price point, because like it is $13, which it is just a puff, but I don't know. I feel like it sets my under eyes better than any brush has ever done. I also normally just wet one sponge, like for example like my Japanese sponge, and I'll use it for my foundation and my concealer. And if I'm going to use it for cream products, I don't want to dip it into powder and then like still be using it for everything else. I just feel like if you like do a bunch of powder and then you like try and blend out something on your face and it's like all the powder, I don't know, I don't like those two different areas of sponges to mix. So I feel like just using this for cream products and using this for powder works perfectly for me. And I will keep you guys updated on the future for how this lasts, but I think it's gonna last a long time, and I'm just so happy. Like honestly, I would buy backups of this. Like I know you wouldn't even need it, but like if I ever lost it or something, I can already tell you I would repurchase it, because I'm in love with this sponge, or this puff. I'm in love. Alright, so that is all of the indie makeup products I wanted to talk about in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is definitely super fun for me to film. So definitely let me know down below if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, or if there's like a specific category, because honestly I could do like 5 indie highlighters that I'm loving right now. So if there's a time or just a category you would love to see, like 5 products I'm just all about, definitely let me know. I know I didn't talk about any eyeshadows in today's video, and that's honestly just because I'm always using different things. Man, I am kind of really obsessed with the Menagerie Cosmetics Feral palette, which I used in my Shop My Stash last month, but I was kind of making myself use the palette, but I enjoyed every second of it, so I don't know if I can really count that as a favorite. I just have to keep going on in time and see how much I pull for it, but I do think that palette is really beautiful. Let me just show you, because what if you're not familiar? Exactly, I know exactly where it is. That's not it. Okay, so here's what it is. Super beautiful packaging. I did a full review on this already. Here's what it looks like. I know it's like the 7th product I'm showing you today, but we just mentioned it real quick and we'll just pretend it never happened. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.